Hi, Zen.
Louise is just waving at us. I assume that's the cue. Because we get cues now. And apparently, if I pay attention to our producer, that means we're good to go.
This.
Frantically. If you just do full on Fraggle Rock hands, I'll get it. Welcome along, everybody, to the latest episode of Saving Grace. My name is Declan, and I am your dungeon master. As always, I am joined by Tendai playing the aforementioned Grace that we are trying to save. Well, I'm trying to save her.
That's dubious.
Uh, we still haven't settled on that just yet. Fiona, who plays the very, very distrustful Eludia. Some say evil, actually.
Do they? Who says
yeah,
that?
it's just going around camp. It's just going around the mining camp at the moment. It's mostly Reagan. Amber as the sweet, sweet, innocent Sueris.
How the hell did he end up here?
That fool.
I ask myself every day.
And Eilish as the delightful and totally should join Reagan 6.
Don't fucking start me. Don't start me.
If you haven't caught up just on everything so far happening here on Saving Grace, the gang are all back together. Well, cam wise, they're all back together, but the party is still split, with Six and Deacon exploring the Chokehold Cave, hunting down terrifying, monstrous fungi. And Sueris, Eludia, and Grace are falling to their death. So, you're all caught up. We will be releasing the videos on YouTube and stuff like that very shortly. We're just figuring out a few bits and things. Before we jump into the episode, just a couple of things to preface. Again, this is a gothic horror campaign adventure, and thusly it tends to veer into gore and kind of dark and heavy themes and descriptions. If that's not your cup of tea, then I would suggest maybe listening with your fingers in your ears. I do generally try to give a trigger warning if there is anything coming up that I think might be generally sensitive, but you have just been again, just be mindful of that coming into it. That's all. Outside of that, the Rook and the Raven. If you are as enthusiastic about tabletop games as we are, then you need to check out the Rook and the Raven and get your hands on some wonderful campaign journals and notebooks. Whether you're a DM or a player, it helps you keep track of everything. And if you use the code D8 Dungeon at the checkout, you'll get a 15% discount off. And you can customize that journal to your heart's content. And
Eludia kills the spider is the last thing I wrote.
Eludia saves everybody from Killer Spider is what I would.
Thank you. Oh, that's a very nice way of putting
Oh,
it.
and she did that all by herself.
She did all by herself.
Actually, if you listen back, Declan describes it very well. My killing shot.
Thanks so much. And you too would be able to keep such detailed and totally not libelous notes if you picked up a journal from the Rook and the Raven. And again, we get a portion of the sale, and it helps us create more content and stuff like that. So that's the second thing to mention. Third thing to mention is we're on verse 6, A Buried Secret, and we are coming to the end. There are only 2 more verses left.
Including this one?
No, not after this. There's 2 verses left. Verse 7 and verse 8.
Oh God!
And yeah, with the group fracturing and heads to roll, we pick up in the chokehold with Deacon and Six. You hear the last thing you heard before you started running was a oh so familiar shriek of panic and fear, a six that you instantly recognize that of Eludia's. There was a heavy rumbling sound that just reverberates throughout the cave and passage that you're in the cavern. And Deacon kind of looks at you, having finished gathering samples from the Molder Titan, and both agreeing to press on to seek out the other remaining creatures. He ran, and you were in pursuit. Sueris, give me an athletics check. Grace and Eludia, roll a d6.
Oh. 5.
1.
5.
Sueris, roll a d6.
I don't wanna. 3.
That's the bashing damage you take
Oof.
as you're struck by debris. Eludia, Grace, and Sueris, ye, with the floor in the cavern where you fought the Grey Queen just crumbling and falling beneath you, Eludia, you were actually dragged down by an entangling spindle of web, if you remember, that kind of had managed to kind of wrap itself around your neck and shoulder and just dragged you down into the cave. Falling huge chunks of rock and water rush past all of you. So whereas you attempt to kind of spin and gain some control of the fall as you open up your wings, but you're pelted by debris and you slam into the side of the cave wall. Grace, you're actually using your scimitars, trying to hit anything kind of coming in close or cutting through the debris as you kind of fall. And though you get struck on the side of the head by a falling stone, you see below a shimmering surface. Eludia, as you are dragged, it's not that you're struck by debris, it's rather the violent force that you are pulled down with. You are actually lassoed and pulled back. And as you whip and drag and desperately attempt to claw onto anything, you find yourself slammed into the rock face of this chasm that you are falling quite quickly at. 6, what are you doing?
Is Deacon running in the direction that
Of the scream,
Judy's
yes.
scream? Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just sprinting after him. And I will be screaming for Eludia. Because old habits die hard.
Just over his shoulder, Deacon, and he's still running. Now I say running. This is a cave.
A brisk jog.
Passage. He's still trying to keep an eye on his footing and stuff like that, but he's quite adept. And you are keeping pace with him only because he is, as quickly as he's moving, he's also trying to be cautious, which aren't the two easiest things to do. But just over his shoulder and kind of between the breath, he just says, 6, you don't even know if that is Eludia. Just
yes, I do. It's her.
Fine, I trust you, but still yourself. We don't know what's happened, and if you get yourself into a panic, you are going to be no good to anybody. Do you understand?
Yes. Okay, let's just keep going.
He kind of kept a pace, but he slings the bag that he kind of adjusts the leather strap just around his shoulders, and you see that he's holding the bag, that leather box that he brought with him. He's got a hand around it, very, very guarded, like he's protecting it. As he runs, you're focusing. Give me a perception check.
Perception. 18. I don't know why I made that face.
Why'd you do grimace? Oh
I was
no,
like,
I rolled well.
What's he gonna do? Yeah.
You actually, as you're running and you see that he turns back, and you're now kind of climbing over a jagged piece of rock. He's kind of half standing there, kind of with one hand kind of over to you, and as he kind of lifts you over, you got to look kind of at his side, and he moves, and his cloak kind of parts a little bit, and you can see this close. You see his back.
Mm.
Okay. And aside from the muscles, and the broadness of his shoulders and whatnot, your eyes linger for a brief moment on his right shoulder blade, where you clearly see the scars that you had seen in Reagan's office. The scars aren't made with a blade. If anything, it looks like claws or hands did it.
Okay, we're
He
gonna talk about that later.
pulls the cloak kind of over, and just keeps running.
Yeah, she's just gonna put it into her mental notes for later. Not those mental notes. Perfect.
Mhm.
And kind of try and keep pace with him, but act cool because she knows that he doesn't want her to be fawning after Eludia anymore.
You fawn over him.
Yeah.
Dead
Grace, Sueris, Eludia, roll the d6.
right. Oh fuck. Oh, thanks.
They're like slow mo falling while we're sprinting through the cave.
Could I try to
Yeah.
kind of right myself a little bit so I don't hit the surface like belly flop style?
Okay.
How far are we from the bottom that we can see?
I rolled a
Uh,
2.
A 2 on a what?
A
On your
D6.
d6?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're trying to correct yourself, roll an athletics check just to see what you can do. Is there anything either Sueris or Eludia are doing at this point to try and save themselves?
Ooh.
Because neither of you have seen what's coming. Only Grace has seen what's.
That's
We
25.
can't see below us, no?
You're kind of, well, it's particularly you, Eludia. You're being whipped and spun around violently.
That's a
Really
25 for
fast.
me.
Yeah. You're still connected to the Grey Queen.
Where is she below me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna whip out my dagger and slash at the thread that's connecting me and her.
Give me an attack roll at disadvantage.
That is not great. What do I add to that? 4.
Okay, I'll come to that in a second. Sueris.
Can I try to stop myself or slow myself by jabbing my halberd into the wall? Am I close enough to?
Yeah, you can give me an attack roll. Again, it's going to be with disadvantage, though.
Yeah. 6.
And Grace, you are literally bracing for the. Well, you're trying to correct yourself as you fall, so you're not going to hit the surface of the water flat. So you're going to try and maybe dive almost, or plunge.
A plunge more. I'll probably go more of a sideward sort of
Okay.
angle.
You kind of, in correcting yourself, Grace, you actually have to kind of pull yourself forward, and you grab onto one of the legs of the Grey Queen. It's still half connected. It's you see one of the arrows that Ludi had shot into it earlier on, and when you grip it, it stings. There's actually a sharp pain, and clumps of the fibers that are on its leg are pulled out. But you get enough of a grip that you manage to kind of straighten yourself out. And as you see the bottom glistening, immediately you know you're heading for water. And if the Grey Queen hits first, it will break that surface tension and make a dive or a plunge into it that little bit less, well, depending on how deep it is,
Mhm.
less likely to kill you. As you steady yourself, you catch, you hear the whimpers and kind of screams of Eludia, and just kind of casting an eye backwards, you see Sueris with their halberd just slash into the rock face. And Sueris, it actually, there are sparks as you hit and you drag, but it catches on nothing, and you continue to fall at the speed that you're falling at. Um, the other thing you clock, Grace, is Eludia is whipping out at a chunk of webbing that is has kind of wrapped or entangled on her. And before you have a chance to react around at that, all of you hear these heavy splashing sounds as the first wave of debris hits the water. And then, as you gasp a final breath of air, Grace, just before you hit it, Eludia and Sueris, you see, and you can now see the surface of this water rippling out with bubbles of white foam and kind of crested waves that just erupt and splash outwards. And then each of you splashes straight into the water. Sueris and Grace, give me athletics checks.
12.
22.
Okay. On your having been able to prepare for it, Grace, you when you hit the water, yeah, it's like getting a punch. But you kind of using the momentum of the Great Queen as it goes down and breaks it, you go with it, and you just dive. And it's dark and it's cold, and that air that you held inside, you feel the urge to just scream or cough as the cold just bites and stings. Right next to you, there's a second heavier splash, and immediately you see Sueris just sink. And as you go to reach out, you see that despite the armor that they're wearing, they manage to steady themselves, and both of you begin to rise upwards. You both manage to kind of catch yourselves. As you both get to the surface, you see Eludia being dragged down.
Grace is going to look at this happening and then make the decision to try and save her. So as she's being dragged, as like the queen is going down, I'm going to try and cut through the web that's connecting Eludia to the queen.
Okay, so you're going to give me another athletics check to swim down. Sueris, as you come up to the surface, you immediately see Grace dive straight back down. She takes a gulp of air and goes down. To your left, you see a sharp, shallow bank about 60 or 70 feet to your left. You seem to be in a large cavern that holds a lake.
Grace clearly looks like she went down on purpose. Yeah, like
Yes,
she's not drowning.
she took a breath and went down.
I'm just gonna start sort of swimming to the edge then.
Okay. Eludia, you watch as Grace and Sueris swim up. The dagger in your hand, you snag and twist and try and break the web. You can't cut through whatever it is. If you don't know if it's that the web is too strong, you don't know if it's that you're losing strength, but your head is pounding. Your lungs feel like they're going to burst. You have one action before I'm going to get you to start rolling Constitution.
The dagger's still in my hand, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm gonna go for the web again, like frantically go for it again. She's gonna like clasp to make like a loop in her hand and then try and saw upwards
Okay.
through it.
Give me another attack roll at disadvantage.
Oh baby, be good to me. Oh no, they got stuck. Oh, the first roll was a nat 20.
Oh no.
Oh,
Come on, baby. You treat me good. That's 14.
You start to cut into the web, and you start like your head is swimming, and everything is dark, and it's like trying to cut through rubber. You press and you pull against it, trying to snap it rather than slice at this point, and you can feel the muscles in your forearms straining, and you are exhausted. You are tired, and just as everything goes heavy, you feel the web give slack as you break through the other side of it.
Fuck.
Grace, what did you get on your athletics check?
I got a nat 20, so that's a 26.
Oh,
Wow.
baby. My hero.
Nice.
My hero.
Grace, you see Aluya cut through the web that was wrapped around her neck and around her shoulders. And you can see that she's struggling. And you reach down and grab her by the forearm and start to pull her up. Sueris, as you make your way over to the western bank, you see that it's just smooth black rock, the same rock face that sort of entombs the mouths of every cave, and the floor that you had been kind of traveling on as you were searching out for Brother Reeves. The lake down here, it's quite huge. Where you were, it took you it was about 70 feet to get from where you splashed in to the western bank. As you look across, you don't see an end. The lake actually is swallowed in the dark. You can hear the trickling of water, but you don't see how far this cavern goes.
Okay. Can I just immediately sort of assess for more evil? Or spiders or monsters or something?
Oh, all right. I just assumed you didn't mean-
Evil in here.
Hello, I'm still DMing.
Yeah, can I just have a little look around and just make sure that, we're more or less alone?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Not those dice, 'cause those dice keep betraying me.
And you all laughed at me for something.
Oh, that's a 4.
Okay. All dice betray you today.
No. That's so cruel.
Gasping for air, you pull yourself up onto the shore, the rock. And you kind of quickly just scan what's around you. You don't see anything or anyone.
Great.
And then you hear a splash as Grace and Eludia make it to the surface of the water. And you hear Eludia gasping for air, Grace doing the same.
So they're about where we were, the 70 feet out, are
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
I am
Um,
immediately going to try and swim to. Can we see Sueris?
I was just gonna say I'll shout and just, are you okay? And over here and get their attention.
I'm
Okay.
going to move towards Sueris while keeping an eye on Eludia.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
drag myself up and just be on all fours, panting, arms shaking. And then I assume I could make out that it was Grace that came down for me.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, I would have swam so fucking fast to the edge. I assume I got there before her. She'll take a breath, clench a fist and turn around and offer a hand to Grace to help her out of the lake. But won't make eye contact with her.
Friends.
I'm going to be very surprised by this and just look at the hand, but take it and just kind of give like a really tiny nod.
You get a tiny nod back. Her heart's pounding in her chest, and she hopes that you don't hear that.
Grace is like, should I have done that though?
You might regret it. Let's see
No
how this
regrets.
session goes. No
As
take backsies.
as the three of you gather yourselves and take a breath, Six, you see that Deacon has come to a stop, and he just holds a hand out, kind of back. I think you were right, Six. And
She's
he
like
gestures down.
scrabbling over his arm to try and see what's.
There's a ledge, and you can't fly. Can you?
Are they alive? Is she alive?
See for yourself. And he literally holds a hand out, and a ball of light just blinks at the tips of his fingers. Grace, Eludia, and Suarez, you all see this.
Just the light.
Just the light, but it's kind of filling the top end of the cavern here. It's about 60 feet in the air.
The light is 60 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Eludia's going to kind of get a shock and snatch her dagger up. That style. Going down her arm. Real cool.
Six is going to just jump. Not jump. Six is going to
Love it.
kneel at the edge and just shout down and be like, Looney! Looney! Are you okay?
Six. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Are you okay?
She was going to answer honestly, and then she realizes that Grace is beside her and says, yes!
I'm just going to roll my eyes at this and just be like, whatever. And just say, we're okay too, by the way.
Oh.
Are you alone?
No, I was gonna say, Daddy's here.
Let's hear.
Daddy's here.
Daddy's here.
Daddy's here. No, I'm with Deacon.
Are you safe?
Of course I'm safe.
Never mind.
She looks
Deacon-
at Deacon questioningly.
Deacon puts a hand on your shoulder and he just gives you a look. We have to get a way down to them.
I have rope.
Okay, that's a start. Are any of you injured? You just hear Deacon call out.
I've been better.
I'm going to do a quick body scan and say I am a bit worse for wear, but I'm functional.
I wouldn't say any of us are doing exceptionally well.
No.
Suarez, you're with them.
Oh, you're there.
Always an afterthought.
Oh no, never.
While Six and I make our way down, if you are able, I would suggest that maybe you give Grace and Eludia a quick examination, ascertain what needs to be done, and I'll be with you as soon as we get down.
Swear. And she'll hold it.
Of course.
Examine.
Of course.
Check me, please.
Riddled.
I think you need to roll a check to make sure you know that.
Nat 20.
Nat 20! Okay, I'm not gonna touch, hang on, I'm not gonna touch the dice. I'm taking a picture of it.
Canon, Eludia is riddled.
Okay, I will put that in the. I will put that into Discord afterwards as evidence.
Oh, God.
Don't come for me. um,
No, I will. I will sort of check them both out. Which of you has lower HP currently?
I'm gonna guess that's Misha. What are you at, T?
I'm on 12.
Oh, look at you. You're on double digits. I'm on 8. Oh, swear.
I will examine them both, but I'll lay on hands Eludia for 5.
Be gentle.
No, stabber.
Slap her.
how much rope have you got? 6.
50 feet.
Deacon swings the backpack off his shoulders, and he takes out hempen rope as well, and he just kind of half crouched down, ties two ends together in a double knot, and then kind of casts an eye around the cave that you're in, the passageway that you're in. He looks a little perplexed for a moment or two, and then you see him tie the rope off at one end around a large stalactite or stalagmite, sorry, rather.
Grace 6 is gonna like start. What is it? Abseiling down. What do I need to roll?
An athletics check has an advantage.
Is there any way that we can make our way to the ground level that they're going to end up at?
Yes, you can. Yeah, like it's just it's a descent. So they're coming down the wall of the cave, this cavern, towards Yi, but they'll be about kind of maybe 40 feet away.
Okay. The minute
yeah.
like Swears is finished healing, Eludia should be like and like knock away his hands and like scrabble up and run as fast as she can over to where they're going to end up. And like she's going to be like peering up at 6 to like make sure see if she can see. Can she send like is his light still up the top?
Yeah, he's actually touched a chunk of rock at the top of the thing, the cave.
Okay, she's going to fire her dancing lights up. They can go up to 120 feet.
Okay.
So as high as she can get them up to 6 and like have them dancing around her so she can see where she's putting her hands.
Excellent. What did you get on your athletics check?
16.
You grip the rope in both hands, and before Deacon has a chance to say to you, let him go first so he can check it, you're already over the other side, and the rope goes taut. You actually give him a bit of a fright. And as he kind of makes his way to the edge, you're already 10 feet down. And as you continue your descent, you just hear Eludia kind of tutting and her footsteps approaching from below. And then there's a shot of light up past you that's kind of like illuminated the clay wall that you are climbing down, just so you can see where your footing is going and where you might get a better, stronger grip. After a couple of seconds, you're down, and then Deacon begins his descent. Eludia is standing there at the bottom. There's just a bundle of rope sitting on the rock.
She's just gonna like pull her into a squeeze, and like is Deacon still up at the top?
No, he's like halfway down.
He's coming down. Yeah.
Well, she's gonna just whisper in her ear. They didn't hurt you. Did they hurt you?
No. 6 is gonna kind of not resist the hug, but it's not as like tight as it would have been prior to her conversation with Reagan. And she's just gonna drop her hands to her side when she asks, did they hurt her, and step back and say, no, why would they hurt me?
How far are we from Sueris and Grace at the moment?
About 40 feet.
40 feet.
Yeah.
She'll still be whispering in Six's ear. We have to talk later. Reagan contacted me.
I know.
You know what I have to do.
I know what you did.
I haven't done anything yet.
And Deacon is down.
Six is gonna look over her shoulder at him and then look at the others and say, "We need to get out of here."
Agreed, 6. But you can see Miss Cinderella is alive, as is
Hello.
Miss Stormfield and Brother Suarez.
Oh. And you? You've been taking
Ye-
care of my cousin, I hope?
He saved my life a couple times.
And she saved mine.
That's going to catch Eludia off guard a little bit. Oh, okay.
Grace is going to like snicker slightly.
Oh, don't try me, Grace.
Bring it. Bring it.
Eludia's voice just dropped 2 octaves. Oh god.
Bring it. Bring it. I saved your life. I will try and end it too.
Oh.
You Deacon kind of is looking around. Eludia, you seem to be okay. Perhaps
Oh.
the others.
Yes, it was wonderful down here. Thanks, Deacon. Thanks for asking.
What are
Having
you
a
guys
wonderful
doing
time.
down here?
Interesting. I was about to ask you the same thing, Suarez. Perhaps, maybe, and he again puts the backpack down on the ground and takes out a small flask of oil, and kind of he's kind of scanning around if there's anything that he can light. And when he doesn't see it, he just takes a bundle of papers out, the oil, and douses them in it and just casts Firebolt. I would suggest the 3 of you try and dry. You don't want to catch pneumonia.
I hope you can use these. And she's going to open her bag and like pour out the water with all of the plants that they picked and just dump them at Deacon's feet. There you go. There you go.
And the fire goes out.
With the stuff that we need.
I
Yeah.
assume they're still usable. Reeves is dead, by the way.
Who?
Reeves.
Brother Reeves. Oh, you would have liked it so much, Six. He was in the nude,
Okay.
covered in blood.
Is there any? There's a possibility that Eludia could be in shock, given her actions.
I'm perfectly fine, thank you.
Yes.
I would
unfortunately.
suggest we've just had a difficult encounter ourselves. It might be in all of our interests to maybe take stock of ourselves, take a breath, and maybe rest.
Yes.
Yes. And she's going to grab Six by the wrist, assuming she doesn't resist, and kind of pull her. I would like to try to pull you like to the side over to like a corner. Not a corner, but like up against the wall or something to take a seat.
She's gonna let her, but her eyes will meet Deacon's as she goes.
Oh.
Deacon doesn't say anything. He's gathering the plants that Eludia poured out of her bag onto the ground. So we're taking a short rest at this point. So you can take a short rest.
Yeah.
Yay.
If you
Thank
recover any of your
you.
abilities, you may do that. You can also spend hit dice to recover.
Yay.
As you kind of find your space to kind of sit down and try and get comfortable on the cold, wet stone, Deacon approaches the three of you, Grace, Eludia, and Sueris, and from a leather box. It's quite a peculiar shape. There's a clinking of jars inside, and he takes out a small globe-like little bottle.
Oh my god,
And
is
an
that
ice
an
cream
ice
truck
cream
goes
van?
by.
Oh my god.
Ice cream. But I still have,
It's the other totem.
he takes out, 3 of these small glass bottles, and he offers each of you one of them. It isn't much. I haven't had really the time to ready my resources in camp just yet, but these healing potions might take some of the sting out of
Thank
those
you.
injuries.
He gave one to myself, Sueris, and Grace.
Grace,
Yeah.
Eludia will initially whip the cork out and go to drink it herself, but she's going to just have a go over at 6. How does she look to Eludia?
Perfect.
Yeah. She's a model. She looks like Linda Evangelista.
Not a hair out
She's
of
stoned
place.
those.
Do I still have my mask on?
Yeah, you still had the kind of the pouch.
Ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
6. No, I don't like that. Maybe. And she'll just, again, she would have had the potion right at her mouth, and then she'll just offer it over to 6.
No. I'm good.
How?
What do you mean?
Deacon said you were fighting something and you're okay?
Oh yeah, I destroyed it. She says kind of proudly.
Wow.
There's
Well
bits
done,
in the
Six.
box. I'll show you later.
Oh.
It was
And Deacon, how's he?
so helpful.
You see Six's cheeks flush.
Okay. She'll lower her voice a little bit. But he's here under, I assume, Miss Mart's instruction?
Just to cut across there for 1 second, how many of you are taking the potion? Because I just rolled to determine how well made those potions
I'm
were.
taking the potion as well.
I did a hit die, so I'm
Yeah.
okay for now.
Okay.
No, same. I did a hit dice. I'm alright.
Okay. Grace recovered 12 hit points.
Woo!
I'll recork mine and bag it up.
Yeah, you can. Sorry, that was just me cutting across for the sake of that. Deacon has kind of shuffled, and he's going to put his back against the wall. He gives the rope a bit of a tug to make sure that it's secured. How did the three of you find yourselves? And he's kind of looking around. I don't think we're in the chokehold anymore, Six. The three of you were sent out to retrieve samples.
Oh yes, we got the
That you-
samples. There you go. Yep, there you go.
I've
Thank you. I'm
noticed.
talking now. Deacon. We went to get the samples, and then an owlbear attacked and nearly skewered Grace. That was fun. I killed it. You're welcome, Grace. And then I heard something. We went over to investigate. We found a pool full of body parts. It was delightful. Six, you would have really liked it. And then Brother Reese was there, underground, nude, like I said, covered in blood, and he'd made friends with the Spider Queen, who nearly murdered us. But we're okay now, and here we are.
I'm just to recall, Grace did see Eludia run away from the
Yeah.
bear attack. So I'm just going to say, yes, she did kill it, but she also neglected to say that she ran away first.
Grace, I explained the mechanics of a longbow. I don't want to bore you. If I was on top of the creature, I would have ended up with that arrow in your skull, unfortunately. I had to
And-
get a bit of range, my darling.
And if I hadn't dove down, you would still be there with the Spider Queens. So
I
let's
don't know what you're talking about.
leave it at that.
Yes, let's.
Deacon
Six
just
is
Yeah, sorry. Go on.
6 is just like tennis match.
Eludia's gonna do like, I'm gonna kind of do a little thing here if Eilish does not agree, but like she has like a little earring, 2 earrings on her ear that are joined by a chain, and she's gonna do this thing where she runs her finger along it, and that is a signal to 6 that we need to talk in fucking private. You know that sign to be like,
Yeah.
I can't say anything else, but there's other shit I have to tell you.
She's gonna like, as if like she got a shiver, and then look like her head will snap to Eludia, and
Deacon just cuts right across the tennis match. Brother Suarez, I'm very sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I know you worked with Brother Reeves.
He was a good man. It's unfortunate what happened to him.
why was he with a spider queen?
Oh, 6 of us piles of bodies. He was feeding them to her.
We'd actually,
Hmm?
I'd like to consult with an expert, if you don't mind, as glorified and as wonderful as your description are, Eludia. I'd rather actually hear from a professional in this field, if that's okay by you.
Oh,
She's
Great.
digging her fingers into like if there's rock underneath it, there's dump it out.
I'm just going to like burst out, like just kind of laughing in a oh, and just look at Ludia and be like, "That's you told."
Yeah, 6 is just gonna be like,
Eludia's
you-
gonna kill all
Mind
of
my
us.
business.
Flashing away.
Suarez, if you don't mind, can you speak
Un-
to the man's state of mind?
Unfortunately, Deacon, what Eludia is saying is true. We followed the sound of his voice down into a cave, and there were just piles of bodies, dismembered. He was still in the process of it when we found him. I, he wasn't in the right mind, but I don't know what was wrong with him. He was doing everything for this spider queen, but I don't know if she had some sort of power over him or if he had just gone mad. But he was not okay.
And the man had never displayed any signs of.
He kept to himself mostly, but he'd never done anything concerning. He'd never done anything odd. He just cared for those back in camp and kept quietly to himself.
Strange.
do the spores cause hallucinations? I mean, I've been seeing some weird shit in here.
Again, 6, what you're inhaling should not cause hallucinations, and neither do the spores, to the best of my knowledge. They seemed to attack the respiratory system. That wouldn't indicate damage to the brain or thought process.
He knew
She,
what
like-
he was seeing. He recognized me. He spoke with me. He knew who I was, but I don't know. He was creating some sort of sacrifice for this spider. I'm
They
not
were
sure.
married, weren't they? Six is
They,
very
they,
funny.
that they were, according to him, that was his bride.
It bothers me to say it, but his condition is of interest. Nevertheless, I assume, since he is not with the 3 of you, that he did not survive.
Oh, you're more than welcome to
No.
examine him. He's just down there. She'll point at the lake, in the water, and then in the spider. That's where he is.
She ate him?
Yes,
She
he
ripped him in
did.
half.
He was eaten by the spider queen. Yeah.
Cool.
It was very cool.
Deacon kind of looks at the lake where you point, Eludia, and he goes very, very quiet as you kind of talk amongst yourselves. I have heard that there are some creatures that have the ability to enthrall victims, that they can create manifestations and warp their sense of reality, luring them in to a trap, luring them in to be devoured. Perhaps this arachnid possessed something like that.
Why would she kill the man that was bringing her food, Deacon?
Arachnids often kill their mates. You'd know that if you read a book.
Snap this pen in half.
Feeling somewhat
Mwah.
deflated with not being able to help Deacon, Six is going to be wandering over to like the lake shore and contemplating what or how she could retrieve Reeves's body in wild shape. And I am still trying to figure that out.
Little shrimp.
Circle back around to me in a minute there, would you?
No, I'm thinking like octopus or something, but I don't know what kind of.
Probably maybe a seal would be better. I'm just trying to think what.
Mantis
yeah,
shrimp.
actually.
Mantis shrimp.
I don't know what the sea
Below
already
the
is, so-
corpse.
Deacon actually watching you walk towards the edge of the lake. I think it only probably fair that Six and I inform you as to what we are doing here. You by now have obviously noticed the masks that we are wearing. The passageway that we came through. We descended the chokehold.
Oh.
Six and I have gotten to the root of the issue with this particular mine. It seems that Reagan's fears that the purple fungi seems to have multiplied and spread are true.
Oh, should we have masks then, or should we mask ourselves?
To be frank, it may already be too late.
What are the symptoms?
Shortness of breath first.
That's
You
okay.
may
I don't need to hear
notice-
the rest. I don't need to hear the rest.
Six, would you report on the encounter, please? Would you let the others know what we faced?
Oh, yeah, it was really fun. It was actually like a giant mushroom.
Oh.
Well, more like a cluster of mushrooms that was like sentient.
Oh.
Anyway, I killed it with some acid.
Was he sentient but still a mushroom, or was it more humanoid and a mushroom?
Humanoid.
Would Grace be able to do a check to see if this is what she thinks it might be? So she would have heard stories of, people traveling through the Underdark and facing Myconid.
You can give me a nature or history check.
Yeah.
Grace.
16.
You, as Six recounts what what they faced above and behind them in the last cavern, you immediately kind of start scanning your memories, your knowledge of the Underdark and the trips, the quests, the jobs that you and Thane and the Grey Line Company took on. And you, at first, it's your immediate thought are Myconids. That's kind of where you're drawn, especially with kind of the image that Six has painted, that they were kind of humanoid, and you'd encountered clans of Myconids, some hostile, some less hostile, less territorial, more open to trading and visitors and whatnot. But then Deacon kind of fills in some gaps. And he mentions the purple fungi and the clusters of pods and the tendrils that seem to have networked in through the rock and walls of the cave. And what Six described as being humanoid wasn't necessarily correct. It was more a large, very large clot or tumor of mushrooms that had taken on some human-like features, including a rather large maw filled with
My
teeth
favorite word.
that seemed to move of their own accord.
Interesting. I'm going to just say it doesn't sound like it was a myconid, so I don't think I've come across any of that mushroom creature before.
And then you hear a voice call out your name.
Can everybody else hear this as well? And I'm going to say, did anyone hear that?
Yes,
Hear
we all heard you
what?
talking, Grace, telling us that you don't know what it is.
It's more than you know. No,
Help. Help.
do I recognize the voice?
I can't. And then there's just a groan of pain, and you look down and you see Moret, corporal in the Grey Line Company, lying there, his body taut, his back arched in agony. And as you rip open the jacket that he had worn on him, you just see a large wound and a milky white, almost like antenna slithering inside, coiling, filling his veins, and just creeping across his chest until you see one sort of wisp out of the corner of his mouth and dangle from his nostril as this fungus rots and spreads inside him. And he's gasping for air. And the last thing you hear him say is, "Kill me." And you find yourself in the cavern.
Did we see her?
Just space
Zone
out.
out.
Yeah, entirely.
Okay, she's gonna come to me right in front of her face. Grace, hello, Grace. Come here.
Ludia, please. We've all been through a lot.
Can I
Just give her
punch
a minute.
Ludia in the face? Like it's going to shock me, and my natural instinct will just be to throw a punch.
Yeah, give me an unarmed strike at
Well, I can't
advantage
function.
because it's a surprise.
Is it?
That's so funny.
I care for her now. I was just checking.
Oh,
on her.
you're so full of crap.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a 17. And for damage, that would be like a 2.
Okay.
I'm nice.
Oh, a
It's a light
gentle
punch.
punch.
Grace, as you come to, you just see kind of Eludia looking straight at you, and then there's just a clicking of fingers in your face, and immediately you just crack her straight into the like right into the middle of her face, and you actually hear her nose crunch,
No, my beautiful face.
and there's a stinging pain, Eludia, as you stumble back, and a gush of blood just splurts from your
She'll
nostrils.
shriek and like fall back on her ass.
I'm just
What have you done?
I'm just going to kind of like jump and say, what were you doing in my face?
Six, I can't talk to her. Six.
6 is over at the lakeshore.
You're on your own. What you gonna do now?
You were gone, Grace. You were gone.
Please, we've been
you-
through so much. Can we all just get along until we can get out of the cave?
Well, I'm
She doesn't
trying
even
to,
go
but
here.
you tried to. I'm just gonna say to Eris, I'm trying to, but you saw that she was just suddenly there in front of me.
She's
Grace,
she's gonna
you were-
get up and just like whip the blood and flick it away, and just get up and walk away.
And I'm just gonna say, if it makes you feel better, you can have one punch.
She'll whip around with a dagger in her hand.
One punch. Are you deaf?
And she'll just turn on her heel, and walk over to Six, fuming.
What happened to your face?
Grace is going to be like me.
6 is just gonna do a double take.
Deacon kind of just stands up and rolls his shoulders and his back out a little bit.
Can we see this?
Describe it in detail.
That's all you're getting.
Whatever.
Yeah, Grace is just gonna be like,
We've encountered one of 3. 6 and I, we continued our journey into the chokehold to seek out the other 2. Reagan believes that the purple fungi is evolving. It's becoming something else. We're looking for those. So now that we're, and he looks at Eludia, rested, perhaps now we could continue that mission. You've gathered the plants that are needed to offset the symptoms. Great. We have discovered the fate of Brother Reeves, and as tragic as that is, we still have a camp to run. We still have, and he looks at you, Sueris, patients to take care of. We need to find these other 2 creatures. Otherwise, this will have been pointless. So I would suggest that whatever, and he gestures between Eludia and Grace, whatever is happening here,
yeah,
you put to bed now.
I will, if she will.
Silence.
The problem is that
Daggers.
we're not
Daggers
here.
at you.
So roll to throw daggers.
Hi, daggers.
Eye daggers. Okay, that's okay. So,
Ludi, come
yeah,
on,
she'll
it'll
give-
be fun.
She'll give a little nod. She does know that she did save her, and then punch her in the face, which is a bit confusing.
She'll give it, and she
Don't
take it.
scare me. Don't scare me, Simples.
I would suggest, and he's kind of talking to you, Six, until we know our bearings, perhaps hold off on searching the water. We don't know what's lurking beneath the surface.
Retracts a tentacle.
Well, there is definitely at least one. There should be at least one spider corpse.
Duly noted. Can I ask the four of you to just search along the banks for now? We'll check this side of the lake, and if we have to, we'll look for a way across to the other side if this side doesn't prove fruitful. I don't want to spend half a day in here right now, not as we currently are, so be quick. But be detailed. If you see anything that catches your attention, call out. And all of you give me perception checks or investigation checks, and we'll come back to those results after our break.
Ooh. Fix my
Okay.
nose.
So while we fix Eludia's nose after it got smashed, we are going to take a quick 10-minute break. So grab yourself a drink, stretch, hydrate, go to the potty if you have to go to the potty, and we will see you all in 10 minutes.
Bye.
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 Professional.
I think we're back now. I don't know.
Hello?
Random.
Yay!
Can anybody
Thumbs.
hear us?
Anybody out there?
We
We're
need to
back.
get Louise little signs that says "Speak, shut up."
Shut up and speak. Welcome back. Sorry, we were gossiping about Harry Styles.
What
What else are we
cute
gonna do?
he
What
is.
else are we gonna do?
What do you want from us?
Welcome to the 8th Dungeon. This is the Harry Styles podcast that we stream here on Twitch. When we left, I'd asked the gang to give either perception or investigation checks. I hope you managed to grab a drink. I hope you managed to get up and stretch, and you're good to go. We're here until 10:30. So, investigation or perception rolls. Hit me, everybody.
Dirty 20.
Oh,
18.
10. Rolling like shit tonight.
Yeah, that
Ah,
is a
good one.
14.
14. Okay. I assume, Eludia, you are going with 6.
She'll before she goes, she's gonna try and do that thing where like you stick your fingers if you're not like click it back into place, biting down.
Okay. Give me a medicine check.
Oh, my medicine's not the worst.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna-
you not 20, bitch. Fix my
Not the
face.
first time she's had her nose broken.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch this with a little bit of glee. Just to
Okay.
kind of-
Yeah, Eludia, you pinch under your nostrils and gripping the bridge of your nose, you pull and twist. And 6, you hear the audible and familiar crunch of cartilage and bone as Eludia realigns her shrone.
I'm
You
just
can
sitting there
see
like
her
really
face.
a professional.
Yeah, Suarez is like,
Professionals should do that.
could have done that for you. No, she saw it on TikTok, so it's okay. And the two of you kind of walk along the bank here of the lake. Suarez, you're not really sure what you're looking for. You were kind of keeping an eye out for the purple fungi, and you know that
Mm.
they're in pods, but you also know that they don't glow
Yeah.
unless they're attacking. They tend to try and blend in, and it's difficult. There's little to no light other than what's being cast above and the dancing lights that Eludia is using, but they don't illuminate the cave in any way. And that's kind of what you end up focusing on, is your surroundings more so than anything else. You heard you heard Deacon say that they had entered the chokehold. You know that you had come through the Devil's Pond, and you're trying to maybe place yourself in the network of caverns and mines that the Blood and Oil Company have dug and found here at the Giant's Fingers. And you hazard a guess that you must be in either the sister cavern of the Bowl mine, which the Bowl mine is a series of caverns and networks that had fairly decent deposits, but was constantly flooding or waterlogged, and the source of which ended up being a river that cuts through the under rock and eventually led the miners to an underground lake. And that network became known as the Bowl, but it was nowhere near the size that is this lake.
Okay.
So this must be fed by the Bowl further up.
Okay.
And that's kind of where your thoughts go. Grace, you watch as Eludia and 6 kind of walk along the edge of the lake, and you've an eye on Eludia, and you see her kind of click her nose back into place, and as you smother a laugh, Deacon just kind of gives you a look. How, Miss Stormfield, how did you fare with the others?
What do you mean with Suarez and Eludia?
And he nods.
Well, Eludia says she saved my life by running away. That was definitely not what that was. I know fear when I see it. Suarez was quite helpful, but was unfortunately airborne when we were attacked by the owl bear. And yeah, it was a very strange series of events from that to trying to find Reeves and the spider. We haven't really gotten much time to sit and take in what just happened.
And
Why?
I'm simply gauging your thoughts on other employees. I'm not so much, and he kind of looks at Suarez, concerned with the Art Corcoran. He will have his use to the camp, and he's a rather quiet but professional young man.
Mhm.
I am worried about Miss Cinderell.
Oh, yes, she is most definitely someone I wouldn't necessarily trust in the dark.
And her cousin, Six.
Six seems to she seems to go with whatever her cousin says because her cousin seems to just dominate her life, it seems like. So I haven't felt as much hostility from Six directly, just for simply existing, as I have from Eludia. Only times Six has been standoffish or even aggressive with me have been when I have stood up or insulted Eludia as she so deserved. But I must say that when I punched her, she did not react the way I thought she would. I expected her to jump in to try and protect her cousin's honor or whatever the fuck she
So
has.
did I. So did I.
My back was turned. I was tentacling.
Mm.
You have a sixth sense for these things, though. I heard a slap.
She's off again. She's off again.
I'm aware that Reagan, Miss Moret, has offered you a supervisory position with the camp.
I told Reagan that this is only until someone more qualified for the role is available to take it. As you can see, I really don't want to be in charge of them.
And I understand. I don't doubt Miss Moret, though. She has an eye for strong people. I might offer a piece of advice when the time comes, that when you're rostering for the groups to begin in the mines again,
Mhm.
and he looks over at Eludia and Six, separate those two for all our interest.
I trust me, I would love nothing more. The codependency is definitely worrisome, but I'm scared I probably wake up with some sort of a animal head in my bed.
Union, union, union.
I will definitely consider, because when the two of them are together, nothing gets done
Assumptions?
except for murder and death and maiming. Yes, maybe arson and theft, but yeah.
Deacon kind of nods at you, and I appreciate the time, Miss Stormfield. I'll let you get back to searching. I think I saw something on the walls back here that I'm going to take a look at.
If you see anything that you might need a second eye on, please just let us know.
And he kind of just tips his head at you.
And Grace is going to kind of tip her head and be like,
Oh,
Stay away from my daddy.
"He's ours now."
Oh, I am
I'll fight you
uncomfortable.
for
I
it.
am uncomfortable. So uncomfortable.
That's what you get for making a hot character, Declan.
Mhm.
Yeah, all the time.
You gotta stop it.
You have to stop.
Okay.
No, don't
We-
stop.
we
Don't
just-
stop.
No. We need this. We need this.
We need this.
Let us be depraved on the internet.
Eludia and Six, you are searching along the bank, and Six, a little way up from where you were, you see that the wall of the cave starts to kind of turn, and you can hear the sound of running water getting a little louder. It sounds muffled. And both you and Six, immediately get hit with the stench of rot and stagnation.
Does
And-
it smell like the other
Yes.
one?
It smells exactly like what you smelled in the cave previously.
See,
You still have your mask on, sex.
Six.
Yes.
All right,
Oh,
calm
you're
down.
you're those sort of
My sex mask.
cousins.
Like your sex mask is on. Okay.
Yeah.
I did preface that this was an over 16 game.
I think Deacon's words will still be in Eludia's head a little bit, so she'll whip out like a kerchief upon smelling this. And just like tie it around like the bottom half of her face like a bandit.
Fitting.
Fitting. It'll do nothing. But no,
Yes.
it looks cute.
You're one of those people that walked in during the pandemic with the mask with a cut in it.
Right here, under my
Yeah.
nose. Six, what is that? What's that smell?
It smells like the other one.
A creature?
Deacon. Deacon? And she looks around. Does she see him talking to Grace?
You do. And you see him kind of walk away, and you're actually a bit further away from the group than you had realized.
How far away are we?
Probably about another 50 feet away.
Okay, and we just smell this. We don't see anything around us.
This is where I was going with Six. Beyond what you smell, Eludia. Six, you see something just maybe about 4 feet, 5 feet over the edge of the shelf here that you're walking on now. Something throbbing. A large mound sort of heave like it was taking a breath in and then collapsing on itself.
Is it purple?
It's brown. It's like a rotting brown.
She's going to approach it slowly, looking for tentacles, and not really explain to Eludia what she's doing.
If I see her walking towards the thing, would I then notice it?
Yeah, you can now see something kind of like, you can just see kind of a mass of something in the water.
Eludia's
Um,
not going to go further, but she'll knock an arrow to her bow and just call out 6. Where are you going?
and she's just gonna have her spear kind of like take it from behind her back and just kind of frustratedly look over her shoulder at Ludia and be like, just let me handle this one. And then like try and creep slowly towards the mound.
Give me a perception check.
Oh no.
I've
6.
done so many of them today. Oh, a 10.
As you get closer, the smell intensifies, but the herbs and whatever else is mixed or infused into the mask and that pouch that hangs from it is kind of taking a lot of the heavy weight out of it. But there's actually kind of a heat from the smell. It's that sort of rank humidity, and you feel it kind of settling onto your skin, and the air here feels heavy. As the mound pulses, you notice two things. The first is the mound is sitting in the water, and you can kind of see kind of the water around it kind of flowing a little quicker. This seems to be where the river is flowing into the lake. The mount is also spread up along the walls. Again, something similar to the network in the cavern that you and Deacon encountered the Titan Molder. This is a different color. And the other thing you notice as you kind of go to look back at Eludia is there's a shimmer on the pulse of a purple iridescence.
Oh.
Take 2 necrotic damage as several cuts and blisters open on your skin.
This a tendril touched her.
Nothing touched her.
Nothing touched her.
Nope.
It's
Nothing.
just like,
Nothing that you can see.
yeah.
Ew, oh no, I hate that phrase.
Nothing that you can see.
Yeah.
Can I like just hiss? You said like sores opened on me,
Yeah.
so she's gonna kind of constrict or like contract and hiss, and then look around for something that she's missed, like a tentacle or like a gaseous poof or whatever.
When you kind of turn to maybe look around, you actually feel those cuts, those boils that opened and blistered on you. You actually feel the skin slip as if something's pulling on it. And when you turn just slightly, what little light there is in the cavern coming from the dancing lights overhead, in the same way at dawn and dusk, when the light catches the thinnest of spiders' webs, you see that the mound has burst out these string-like tendrils, and you are standing in a web of them.
Oh lads, I'm getting like Last of Us, not feeling it, not
Beautiful,
enjoying myself right
beautiful.
now. Nasty.
Oh,
She's going to
6.
shh, don't move, and then look over or like through Eludia to Deacon and be like, Deacon,
6.
I think I found another one.
I'll be
She's
right
like
there.
frozen on the spot.
Grace, Suaris, you hear this, and Deacon calls out to the both of you. Ready yourselves. The last one wasn't exactly friendly to us entering its territory.
I'm going to try and make like a makeshift sort of like scarf or something, just in case.
Oh,
I,
copy
I, kn-
that.
I know it might be too late, but
Okay.
Yeah, I ready my halberd.
As the two of you and Deacon approach Six and Eludia, you just hear it's like a pocket of air that's wet and warm just open, like kind of as a chunk of the mound lifts up off, and as it does, some of the webbing around you, Six, tears away, like it kind of falls away, and you feel it kind of go slack. The clots of boils still linger, and they're oozing.
Sexy.
And this creature kind of turns unnaturally. Like Six had said, they're humanoid. The only time you've seen a body do this is when it's being torn and twisted. And this creature sort of lifts itself up, and when it does, again, there is a burst of that foul heat that just wafts up from it. And as it turns, you see that this thing has taken on a humanoid shape. And Eludia, you recognize the face that's looking back at you. Her name was Neve. She was a guard that first brought you down into the chokehold. And you got separated. And her face is frozen in a decayed look of fear and sadness. And you just see the eye slip out of the skull and just trail down the front of her cheek and hit the ground, and it just bursts like jelly.
Six, get back here now.
Roll
Get
for
back here
initiative.
No.
now. Right, bitch. You can stay there now. Fuck. 17. I'm just having another little bit of halloumi while we're waiting.
8. Oh, share.
20.
Okay.
18.
Ooh. And so I had a 20, which was Grace, an 18.
Yep.
Suaris. I was a 6. Sorry, I was a 17. Who was the 15?
Sorry, I was muted. I was 17. What were you, Eilish?
8.
Oh, I was 15. Sorry, that's who I was. Hold on.
Me too, getting our energy up for the fight.
Nothing like cheese to get you ready to fight.
And we'll give Deacon his go. 2 seconds. That is not good for Deacon. Deacon is going last with a 5. Okay, Grace, you are about 40 feet away from where you saw Eludia and Six maneuver. They had kind of turned a corner in this cavern, and as you, Deacon and Suaris, make your way up to it, you see that there is a large wall here that's kind of corridored off the shelf that you were on,
Mhm.
and just kind of arching your neck around, you can see up in front of you, thanks to the lights that Eludia had cast around the cave. You see Eludia, her back, and a little bit in front of her, you see Six and a figure kind of swallowed in the dark.
I'm going to cast Witch Bolt,
Ooh.
which is a 15 to hit.
It hits.
Awesome. D12. It's a 12.
12 damage.
Yes.
What's the damage type of a...
It is lightning.
Okay. You, without second guessing, without anything, Grace, you see this thing, the shadow, just emerging towards Six, and as Deacon and Suarez rush past you, lightning cracks between your two hands, and as you open, you see that the ball that you had formed tears out, and an arc of red and white lightning just catches and dances through the air. Suarez, you feel the static catch at the edges of your skin, and even your feathers kind of frizz for a second. And Deacon looks back over you, and he just says, "Wait!" And it's too late. The lightning forks forward, strikes the creature,
Oh no, and there's a fucking burst.
and it explodes.
Oh
Oh
no.
no.
Okay, 6,
No, baby.
8 poison damage. And Eludia, take 3.
Sorry.
The two of you are coated in a wet cloud of mucus and spores. And where they land, where they stick, you feel the flesh sizzle and
Oh no.
bubble. And then that sound, as the first ripped itself from the mound, echoes around
No.
town. And 6 creatures fall between you.
I thought there was 2 more.
Cancel that. Cancel that.
2 land right on top of Deacon, like literally on top of him. Suarez, one of those 2 had kind of lunged out at you, but it landed on Deacon. There's 2 between you, Grace, and Deacon.
Hold on, 2 between
4.
Grace and Deacon.
Yeah. The other 4 have just pulled themselves from the cracks between the walls and up through the floor and have surrounded Six and Eludia.
How many?
4.
4.
4 in total, including the first one.
Nope, that one's dead.
Oh, that's fully dead.
That one just exploded.
Okay.
Oh, so we just do that a bunch and it's fine.
Oh yeah, no worries. Well, yeah. That's
Maybe try and keep their guts inside them.
Yeah.
Grace, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okie dokie.
Did I see where Grace hit the creature?
It just
That's a
you saw
9.
lightning hit it
Yeah.
and it exploded.
Okay.
Your head feels drowsy, Grace.
Oh no, it's the spores.
Yeah, breathe it in. Take a deep breath there, Grace. No, don't.
Ju-
Shit, no. She'll kill me. Don't
Uh-huh.
say it.
Just to spite you. I'm going to stop breathing. So like I'm
Sorry.
actually no, I'm not just gonna hold. I'm gonna hold my breath
You take a breath. Okay.
because like I'll know that mushrooms have spores, so I'm just going to hold my breath and try to look for a bit of guidance as to like from Six and Deacon as to what works for them.
So 6 is, again, like I said, about 40
yeah,
feet away from you.
yeah.
But Deacon is just kind of in front of you, and Suarez is just beside them. And as he shouted, "Wait!" At you, Grace, he's buried under two of these creatures, and you can all see them now in the light where they are. They're humanoid in the sense of there's bones and there's flesh and there's facial features. There's even bits of clothing and armor, but they're rotted. And where there is skin, there is a bubble of purple blisters. And tentacles and tendrils just seem to ooze out of them and slop to the floor as they lumber around all of you. And you see the parts of them are still stuck to the walls that they'd ripped themselves from, and pieces of flesh dangle.
Nice.
Deacon just lets out a roar. Don't. We need one. We need one sample. Don't burn them. And Sueris, you're up.
So can I just shout back at him, how do we contain them, I guess?
Slice, stab, whatever you can, bury them, whatever you can do that. Just don't burn them.
On that, I just want to stab one nearest me with my halberd.
Okay, so there's one on top of the...
Top of Deacon.
There's two on top of Deacon, yep, that you can go for.
Coming, Daddy.
Oh boy.
Real horror.
I
I'm
want
out
that on
into
a
the dark
t-shirt.
side.
That's an 11 to hit
That hits.
for 11 damage.
You stick. Your halberd already drawn when you heard Eludia call out, or Six call out to Deacon for help. You watched as Grace shot lightning at one of them, and pulling the halberd up, you swing, and the head that the creature that you aim for, as you do, you see that parts of its face and neck actually open, and these thick milky tendrils just whip out almost in defense, but your halberd slices cleanly through them, and you take the head right off the shoulders. The head looks as if it's like cutting through pudding. The bone, whatever structure, whatever hardened structures inside have become pliable, have become almost dough-like, and you just cleave straight through it. And the body slips off of Deacon, and he lets out a howl of pain as the head falls and rolls to one side. You see several of those tendrils that you'd cut through, the ones that last, actually extend out and try to crawl over the rocks towards you. When they quiver, shrivel, and there's a kind of a sound as it dies. Bonus action.
No.
No, I want to go home. I want to go back to the Temple of Fiend.
No.
Don't
Nobody
never
worry
eat
about
mushrooms again.
I love how you're like, ooh, mushrooms.
I changed my mind. They're not meant to be mushy.
No, the bones of the bodies are.
Oh,
Please,
okay. Thank you
please
for
no.
clarifying.
Please
You're
no.
welcome. Eludia.
Whew. She's going to. Is there any way she can pull back without
You will
being on
take
top?
you'll take 3 attacks of opportunity.
3.
Yeah.
So there's one. They're all kind of behind me, or where
One
are they?
behind you, one to your
Okay.
left that pulled itself off of the wall, and one
Yeah.
to your right that slipped down off the ceiling. And there's one in front of you that's on top of 6.
Okay. She would want to not get hit herself, preferably, but she can't do anything with them this close to her. She's just gonna roar, 6, help! And she's gonna Hunter's Mark, the one by 6. So dancing lights are gone.
Okay.
No.
The cave goes dark.
No.
So we're in full darkness now.
Yeah.
If you tell me these things have blind sight, Declan, just don't even speak. I'm invisible for now. Just give me that little moment of pleasure, okay? Just give me that moment until they attack me in the dark. Right now, I'm invisible. Yeah, just stop it. Just stop. I can see your face. I'm so angry. And I'm going to attack the one on top of 6. Shut up. I don't even want to know. 26 to hit. Take that, bitch.
That hits.
That's a 8. And then Hunter's Mark plus 5. What's that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'm going to use my Dread Ambusher and attack it again. I'm just going to pop these shots off. 18 to hit. It does an extra d8. So the first is an 8 plus 8. Yeah, 16 plus my Hunter's Mark, 18. So total damage is 31.
Woo!
Oh my god.
That thing is
11.
dead.
I like
You-
poked one and it died. That's overkill.
You feel the cave goes dark, and as it does, you've already got your longbow. It was your longbow you were shooting at it, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. As you concentrate on the magic for Hunter's Mark, you fixate on the creature in front of you, and you draw an arrow, and there's just darkness. You can see the 3. You can feel them. You can actually feel those string-like antenna, whatever it is that these things do. You can actually feel themselves coiling around you, and you can feel your skin. It's right now. It's a tingling sensation as they kind of spin a web of these purple-like tentacles, string, whatever you want to call it, kind of ensnaring the both of you in this space. Arrow in hand, you concentrate, and you feel the magic kind of rush through you as the first arrow flies. And before it's even struck the creature, you've a second arrow already knocked against your bow, and you pull and fire. And where the first arrow caught the creature right in the mouth, literally just mashing through gum and teeth. And 6, you actually some of it sprays on you.
Sorry.
Take 1 necrotic damage
Yum.
as some of this liquid just splashes on you. The other arrow strikes it straight above the bridge of its nose, and the head actually falls back, and with the force, it's ripped. And these tentacles desperately lunge forward, trying to grip onto the neck and the flap of skin, the cuff of the shirt, the collar of the shirt, to hold itself fast and pull itself up. But the head falls away, and the creature falls over dead.
Can I? Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, that's fine.
Literally shot its head off. I don't know if there's anything else you can. 3 of them now
So
lumber in on top.
they're all on
of-
top of me,
Yes, yeah.
and there's no way without provoking an opportunity attack. I could have done it my last spell to not do that. 6. Bear that in mind.
She's
Bitch
not
got
that
no
in mind.
spell slots
She's
left.
she's using a 6. Okay, so 6, where you see the creature fall back in, it lands on top of the mound, and that vibrates. It actually, there's a ripple of purple light through it, and you see parts of it actually open, like almost like a fish's gills, like just a pocket of it opens, and you see several of these thicker tendrils just sort of squirm out of it, and they pull on the spawn. They pull on this creature that's fallen in on top of it into the water, and it starts to pull it apart and just draw it inside.
Oh.
The other 3, so 5 isn't going to cut it. An 18 probably will cut it, and a 17
Yes.
to hit. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just
So
updating my
so-
arrows.
D6, 8, And
Fuck.
okay, so
Remember me.
you take 8 slashing damage.
8.
Yeah, and 8 poison damage.
Ooh.
She's
Um,
bad. Bad.
One of the creatures, it literally the creature that had slipped down off of the ceiling. When it goes to move, you see that part of the fungus, part of the skin, the flesh is still actually caught on the jagged parts of the rock. And when it goes to swipe, it actually hasn't disconnected from the membrane. So when it goes to pull, it tears, and there's a howling shriek coming from it as pain courses through its body, and you see just this almost translucent gunk just spill out of its back. The other two lumber in and both take a swipe at you. And when they do, you feel some of those threads that had kind of stuck and clung and wrapped themselves around you, Eludia, tighten. And your skin is just torn open. And where they cut, you see that the wound, at first it looks like it's burning, it's actually boiling. The wounds are actually melting from the poison damage. That is them. 6. You turn
Hold
around.
on, I need to
Yeah.
roll my concentration. I got attacked twice.
Yes. Yeah.
No, we're okay. I still have Hunter's Mark in place.
Okay. It is 6. You having seen this creature fall in and this mound just begin to consume it, you turn back to hear Eludia cry out in pain as 3 of these creatures bear down on top of her.
Am I free from the webbing now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're still in this kind of cocoon of it, but
Yeah.
you're free to
So
move.
I'm going to. Can I wild shape and then move?
Yeah.
Will I take damage?
Are you? Well, there.
I'm
You
I'm
won't.
like I'm like lunging for Eludia and also changing into a direwolf at the same time.
So you're trying to move through these creatures and get Eludia. You will take attacks of opportunity.
Okay, so can I then can I just jump to the nearest one? Like
To
from
attack.
behind? Yeah.
Okay.
So wild shaping is an action, so I won't get to attack till my next one, but I just want to be at
You want to
them.
be in its space, so it kind of
Yeah.
You seeing Eludia howl in pain, you kind of scrunch down and leap forward, and as you do, the bones in your body crack and shift. The skin and nerves and muscle rewrite and rework themselves, spinning a form of a wolf in front of you. And as you feel your jaw drop and your teeth grow and point and jag and break through the skin of your gums, and the front of your skull just elongate out into a snout, your eyes, everything changes color. And you see these 3 heaped mounds. But you also see the entire cavern is linked with just these webs of strings. And you see the ceiling shake. It
And
is
I can't
Deacon.
communicate in werewolf form.
Deacon,
Ah, woo, woo, woo.
going to have to make a strength check to resist being grappled. He does. Good old Deacon. That's a 19 against a crappy 4. Good for you, Deacon. You literally, Deacon grabs with his bare hands, grabs the creature that's on top of him, buries them into the gooey flesh, and just throws it off him. He literally flips it off his back. And as quickly as he does that, you see him just hold his hand out as if going to grasp the hilt of a sword. And then there's a flash of light. and a double-headed axe just blinks, made of a pulsing black shadow. And the blade just whips straight through the air and down on top of the Molder spawn. Let's see if I actually hit now for that stupid description. Idiot. I do with a 21. Okay.
Yay!
Go,
Yay.
Daddy.
Please stop calling me that. Oh, okay. I got it exactly on the money. An 8 plus 2, 10. The axe comes straight down, catches the creature at the back of its head and neck, and splits it in half.
Nice.
Several of those milky limbs reach out and try to net themselves together, and they shrivel up and die. Deacon kind of looks at you, Grace, and Sueris. You're okay. Both of you are okay.
Yes.
Then we have to get to 6, and he moves forward. He moves his movement speed forward. Grace, it's your action. You're muted.
Yes, I am. I'm going to draw my crossbow and try and aim at the head of the one that's near 6.
Okay. As you kind of come closer, you all see Eludia and a wolf, like a milky grey wolf.
That's 11 to hit.
That hits. Oh wait, does it? Wait. It does not. That does not hit.
Oh.
I am going to. I'm going to hold that then.
Okay, you're not taking any bonus action.
No bonus actions.
You again drawing your crossbow. You take aim. You fire, and you hear a snapping and a ring of metal as your crossbow bolt explodes as it hits the wall of the cave, whizzing just past the head of the creature attacking or lumbering over 6. Sueris.
I will follow Deacon. Can I get to them in one move, or are they too far away? What's my speed?
What is your movement speed? Because they are at this point they're about 35 feet.
25.
Okay.
So can I move to 25 and then throw my halberd like a javelin?
Yes. I'll just say yes.
Hot.
Fuck you, Daddy. Okay, Sueris. As we're dripping, covered in like spores and sores.
Now
I throw it straight at Eludia.
you can move 25 feet, but the range
Yeah.
of your halberd is 10 feet.
Oh, so
So
I
you-
can just poke, poke, poke.
You can jab at one of yeah. Let's see,
Get away!
You can.
That's so much less dramatic. I'm throwing that thing.
Oh.
Okay, that's going to be at disadvantage because it's not a thrown weapon.
Fine.
It's heavy.
Yeah, I'm strong. With disadvantage is a 9 to hit.
9 doesn't hit, and you have
Oh.
You
thrown
have to
your
show
halberd.
off. You have to
Uh,
show off.
Deacon looks at you and I've never been more turned off in my life.
Links at the wall.
You charge forward with your halberd, where seeing Deacon throw one of them off and pretty much split it in twain. You rush forward past Grace and Deacon, and with your halberd, just as you kind of come to a stop, you throw the halberd out. It cuts through the air, and it rattles against the edge of the wall where it caught and bounced. It rattles and lands at your feet. 6.
Sorry.
Bonus action.
No, got nothing.
Okay.
I'm all
The
tapped out.
spawn are going to go. And 1 is going to go for 6, and 2 are going to go for Eludia. Okay, so 6, that is a 19 to hit.
Fine.
I
Sorry
guess
about
I'll take it.
Why are they going now? Is it not me?
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh.
say, isn't that Ludia next?
Sorry, I never deleted spawn, and I just have spawn Eludia.
Please don't
Sorry,
kill me just
it,
yet.
it's Eludia's go. Yeah, sorry, Eludia, you're up.
Disengage, disengage. See ya. Yeah, she is panicked. She's quite close to the brink right now. So she's just like the fear has taken over, and she's got like tunnel vision, any kind of gap that she can see to get out and away from these creatures. And she is just going to crouch and sprint as far away as she can. She has 30 feet of movement, and she's just going to try and get as far away as she can from them.
Okay.
And leave 6 in the middle of these fucking things.
I saved you!
Eludia,
You turned into a
you-
wolf and stood there!
Eludia, you turn, and casting a look down at 6, you see a gap between two of these fungal spawn creatures, whatever they are, and you actually dive forward into a barrel roll, and as
No,
you
not,
get up,
not if that will hurt me. Please
it
don't.
doesn't. No, you're a death. This is fiction. Don't worry. You couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. But sorry. Okay. Demonstrate for everybody on stream right now that you can do that.
Stream's ended, to be honest, dead.
You jumped headfirst into
She
a
broke her
wall.
neck. Yeah, on the floor.
I hear if you do it from the stairs, it's great. It's just. But as you throw yourself forward into a barrel roll, look, it's uncomfortable and it's sore. You feel, but you get up and you run right past Sueris, straight into the path of Grace and Deacon, who look at you, and Deacon just screams out 6, and the 3 creatures bear down on top of her.
I can bonus action. I'm gonna switch Hunter's Mark.
I'm
to
gonna
one of
bonus
them.
action cowardly. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, currently I will switch Hunter's Mark to one of them.
Okay.
But yeah, that's me done. And she's just gonna scream,
That's on favor.
Oh, that's a dirty 20. That is a 15.
Yeah.
And a 21. So all 3 hit. Okay, so.
Throw your health.
13, okay.
Sorry for we have some weird audio fizzle.
Oh.
"Are we okay
Is
now?"
it still there? Or.
Yeah, still there.
Oh.
Is it for one particular person?
Is it the stream then? Or is it just a. Just shoot? Yeah, so someone else. It sounds a bit robot-y for me. Yeah, again, this might be Louise. I mentioned previously before that there's an issue with OBS and the multi-channel outputs. If you go in and you try switching out those two, if you switch from 44 kilohertz to 48 or 48 to 44, that might kill it for you. In your MIDI settings, the sound settings. You can't hear anything?
Is it working now? Is it gone?
You can't hear anything? Yeah, Zan is saying it is the stream. It's not just a particular person, it's the stream.
Is it gone?
Yeah, Zan is saying it is the stream. It's not just a particular person, it's the stream. Fixed. Yeah,
Yay.
it's a very weird issue. Both Louise, our producer, and I use Macs, and I've noticed when we were doing multi-output
Yay.
devices.
It's a very weird
issue. Thanks for letting us know as well, folks.
Love
We really appreciate
yous.
it. If it comes up again, let us know. It should work away now that we've done kind of a quick change. And thanks, Emma, as well. Appreciate it. It's nice to.
Thanks, guys.
Now, I was in the middle of killing Eludia.
No, stick.
No, me.
Back
First,
to the
I'm nearly
extra.
there. I'm nearly there.
Well,
I want my cousin to come with me.
No, me.
First,
to the
I'm
extra.
nearly there. I'm nearly there.
well, take
Oh, my cousin's
15
coming with
poison
me.
damage.
Woo.
I have 10 HP. It's okay.
Take 15 poison damage.
Okay. And then? I have 10 HP.
No, Declan.
15
Okay. And then?
bludgeoning damage.
15?
Yeah.
1-5.
1-5.
Okay, that's fine. I'm still a
Okay.
wolf.
Okay.
15.
All
Barely.
3
Wild sheep is a
Okay, that's fine.
lifesaver.
bear down on
Honestly.
top of you,
Fuck.
and when they do,
Wild sheep is a lifesaver.
when they do, it's
Oh my god.
Oh, lovely.
interesting.
Oh my god.
Oh, lovely.
Interesting. So we had an echo, and then the stream went away.
Mm-hmm.
So we had an echo, and then the stream
Sound.
went
Mm-hmm.
Checking.
away.
Oh god.
I assumed the audio was back. And Louise, sorry, just to check in with you, are you seeing an audio feed coming into OBS? Are you seeing the output actually light up as we speak? Okay, that's really, really strange. Okay, audio is back.
Hooray.
And is the echo still there, Zan? That's really, really strange. Okay, I wonder. Okay, so that's me talking.
Hooray.
And is the echo still there, Zan? Grace. Okay, so that's me talking. And is the echo still there?
That. Oh,
Grace.
that's me.
Okay, that's me talking.
Um,
Okay, strange that
oh,
the echo is coming in. It just
me.
started now as well. Fiona, do you want to give us a go? The echo is coming in. It just started now as well.
Hi, Eludia is the best character. Hope I don't
Fiona, do you
die.
want to give us a go?
6 is cool too. Don't kill her, please.
Sueris?
Cool too. Don't kill her, please.
Hi, Eludia's terrible. Please kill her now.
Sueris?
Love you, Fiona. Hi, Eludia's terrible. Please kill her now. Love you, Fiona.
6.
Terrible. Please kill her now.
I love you also, Fiona, but not so much Eludia
6.
anymore, since I'm getting devoured by mold right now. Also, Fiona, but not so much Eludia anymore, since I'm getting devoured by mold.
Okay, and just to check then with... Yeah, I'm wondering, is there a double feed coming into at least? Are we seeing two things light up? You're just seeing desktop audio light up. That's it. There's just one feed coming into it. Things light up. You're just seeing desktop audio light up. Very strange. There's just one feed coming into it. Very strange. It shouldn't be, because it just kicked in. If there's an echo, the echo only kicked in like. Has the echo been there the entire stream? If there's an echo, the echo only kicked in like. Has the echo been there the entire stream? Has the echo been there the entire stream? Yeah, I can hear the echo. I've just tried listening to it myself there. Yeah, I can hear the echo. I've tried listening to it myself there. Yeah, I'm one. Yeah, I. Okay. Yeah, I'm one. Yeah, I think guys, we're gonna have to just plow on with that. If the the audio is there. I know the echo is not ideal. We'll take a look into it afterwards. I just don't want to stop this stream, especially with us about to murder 6, because of Eludia. I suppose all we can do at the moment is apologize for it. If it's a little too annoying, do feel free to drop out, and we can always take a look at maybe editing it in post, or we might be able to pull it out because we will be podcasting Saving Grace as well. So apologies for the tech issues, and we will continue on for the time being, and we can look into it after the fact as well. And thanks, Louise, as well. I appreciate the patience in trying to look into it at the back end. So we'll keep going as we are, and we'll see where we're at. The Molder spawn, have all just bared down on top of 6, who, despite the odds, is still standing. And as they bury themselves over you, they're trying to engulf you, 6. They're not just clawing; they're literally trying to lift you up and almost absorb you, or like force themselves around you like a cocoon. You hear Eludia call out, 6. It's your action. You are muted. It's your action.
Sorry. She's just gonna bite the one nearest to her head.
Okay.
Is anyone within 5 feet of me?
Any of the players? No.
And like any of my allies?
Allies? No. There's no characters next to you. Any of the players? No.
So
Allies? No. There's no characters
plus
next
5
to
to
you.
hit. So plus 5 to hit. Whoa, 24.
Yeah, and did you roll your damage?
It's 2d6. 24. 5 plus 3. 12.
Okay. You lash out, and you actually sink your teeth into the stomach of one of these creatures, and you pull, and immediately your mouth fills with a wet, warm dust that just clings and burns the inside of your mouth. Take 4 necrotic damage as you rip a chunk of it out, and your mouth, you feel things kind of crawling around and actually trying to leak outwards and coil around you. And as you spit a lump of this creature onto the floor, you see it shrivel up and die. A bonus action.
She's going to just. I was going to revert, but she still has 4 temp HP. That is very valuable right now. So she's just going to kind of writhe away from the masses, or try, and then like just whimper like a sad puppy.
You're trying to get away from them.
Like not like opportunity attack, get away from them, just like wiggle.
Okay, you're trying to get out of their grasp, but okay.
Yeah.
Deacon is going to, he sees Eludia, you run, and then his eyes fix on you for a moment, Eludia, and there is nothing but rage.
Does he see the state that I'm in?
He turns, holds a hand out, and looks directly at 6 in all her form, and he rushes towards her, and as he does, the axe follows him, and when he moves, as the axe rushes past you, Grace, you just feel cold. And then the same sensation, Sueris and Eludia, when he passes you, and he charges in, and he swings, drawing a longsword from around his shoulders up over, he swings in, and the great axe swings at the same time. And he is making an attack on both of these things. So that's a 15 to hit. That'll hit. Is it 16
Never
to
seen a
hit?
sweaty wolf.
Okay, So that is
Panting
a
away.
okay. That is one down.
Perfect
And
timing to be going last.
spell. What's the damage for my? Okay, 1d8, 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 1d8. Okay, the sword takes his longsword as he swings it. He takes the upper half of one of these creatures straight off, and the force at which he buried the blade into it actually sends the upper chunk slamming and bursts as it hits the wall. A tendril just withers up out of it and lashes out at him. He takes a step back as the great axe, the spiritual weapon, slashes down into the back of one of these creatures. And when he does, just this vomit of ooze, that translucent ooze just splurges out and down its back. And Six, where you were wriggling to try and get out, it's a little bit, you're free from these two, their grasp, and only one stands. Grace, your action.
I'm going to run in with my scimitar and aim for the neck. So
Of who?
not you, off the last mushy standings. So
Last mushy.
Mushy.
last mushy.
Shiitake.
So that is a 24.
That hits, yeah.
Nice.
That's 4. Oh. And that is 11. Oh wait, yeah, 11 damage.
You were swiping at the neck.
Yes.
Your blade, again, it's like cutting through wet sand. You slice. There's no resistance as you meet the skin, the bone, and the clusters of fungus and mucus inside. You take the head straight off. And as it does, it kind of rolls backwards. And you just see an empty skull looking at you.
Oh.
And several of these tentacles just light up purple.
Ooh.
And then go grey. And the body falls to the ground as a husk.
You.
Yay!
Mushroom for dinner.
Deacon reaches out. He just lunges forward at you, Six. And as he does, he just literally takes the side of your head and your snout under one hand, and he casts Cure Wounds.
Oh.
And he does so at second level, recover 9 HP.
Thanks.
Grace, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh. That is a 14.
You feel lightheaded, and what was drowsy, what was kind of things were a little bit blurry, now kind of everything at the edges of your vision has a haze on it. You're still standing.
I'm going to turn to Sueris and Deacon and say I think the spores might be affecting me.
Deacon kind of looks around and having healed Six, Sueris, tend to Grace. I'll gather a sample. I think it's best. And then there is a splash of water.
No.
And behind Six,
No.
you
Another
see
one.
the mound lift up, and these thick blood purple petals open up, and 8 spindling tentacles rise up, and where each one of them does, you see a pop of purple as a spore cloud opens and
Oh,
sprays the air,
Oh
Ooh,
shit.
and then the creature dives underwater.
Leg it.
Deacon literally shouts, "Run! Get everything! Run!"
Eludia
Uh,
will have like pushed.
Eludia will
And, like-
already run up up the rope.
No, no,
What are you doing?
Maybe
Sorry?
no. She'd run over and just kind of like she's fucked. She's really bad. She's in a very bad way. But she'll do her best to kind of push it. Get away from her, and try and like get Six to her feet and drag her. Is the rope the only way out that we can see, Jacqueline?
I'm still a wolf.
As you rush over and kind of go to shove Deacon out of the way, you actually do manage to, like, he falls over. You shove him hard to the ground,
Feed him.
and he looks
Mhm.
back at you. I understand she's your cousin. We need to get out of here now. And you look a lot worse than she does. Take the potion I gave you. I can't heal anymore. Suarez,
Six.
Huh?
how's
Sorry,
Grace?
Not great. And can I just like hoist her up like an arm under her arms and kind of start dragging her, helping her to the rope?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and like scoop up the head on the way to the rope. Just
A trophy.
well to help Deacon. So
To
Aw.
help
Mm.
Deacon.
Yeah.
What a manager, remembering the job at hand. Well
Well,
done.
he has-
Your
Deacon
performance
has a
review would be
sample,
great.
but he always, everyone needs a little head every now and again.
Oh,
exactly.
Can I don't know how like this potion works. Would it be possible for Eludia to take half of the draft and then pour the other half into Six's maw?
I mean, you can take half, but you're gonna have to like force her to drink it if that's the case. Like you,
It's like a, in Spirited Away when she's trying to get the
Yeah,
thing out
yeah.
of Haku's-
The dragon.
I actually heard if you wrap the potion in a little bit of peanut butter and
Yeah.
then give it to her, like, you might eat it. So
Yeah, but she will. She'll take half. You're not getting it all. Six.
No.
I knew-
When she goes to reach for her maw, Six is gonna like get her heckles up and bare her teeth at her.
Ooh, spicy, spicy.
that'll like
Candy
freeze her in place.
drama.
She's frozen in place now.
I
you take a mouthful of the bottle, recover 6 HP because I did roll 12. It's the same for all the potion bottles.
Yay,
recover
now
6
I'm on 7.
better than 1.
Damn.
mhm.
You offer the rest. You go to tip the rest into 6, and you just see her go low, like her legs go, the haunches go up, and she snarls, and her teeth are bared at you. Deacon stands up and just puts a hand on 6's back. Go. If that thing, we know where it is. If we have to come back and get it, we know where it is, but we're not taking it on now. Do you hear me? And he runs past the both of you.
Yeah, I think Eludia will have been caught off guard by Six's reaction, and she'll just look at her and then turn and follow Deacon.
I assume we're out of initiative now.
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Okay, so she's gonna revert to her normal self and not catch up to Eludia, just follow her.
Okay.
Like bringing up the rear.
As you follow, you see that Suarez and Grace are standing at the rope, and Grace, with Suarez trying to push you up to climb.
Mhm.
Give me a athletics check with disadvantage.
Oh.
But I'm helping.
Touch the blood.
But
know.
I can't see, and I'm weak. Athletics check with disadvantage. Okay, so
Eludia, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, wow.
oh,
We're
that's
poison buddies.
That's a 7.
You grab the rope, Grace, to pull yourself up, and everything spins, and you feel the whole world just kind of roll backwards, and your hands go limp.
Oh shit.
Night night.
I'll be joining you soon. I got an 8.
Uh, Ludia, you feel an intense pain in your guts.
Oh no, not in front of everyone.
Your vision goes blurry, and that stabbing pain courses through the rest of your body and behind your eyes. And everything starts to sound sharp. And you hear Deacon call out, and his voice sounds muffled. It sounds garbled, but it hurts. And he's talking to Six, and she's looking at you, and she's talking to you, and she's gesturing at the rope. And Grace falls back. And Deacon just to Six and Suarez, he just looks at the both of you. Climb. I'll take them.
Can she try and
Um,
take a breath, remembering that he said, like, well, the only symptom she let him tell her was the shortness of breath? Can she just, like, she's shaking, but can she just try and take a breath and see what happens?
Yep.
Am I able to breathe?
You take a breath in. You hold it. Your lungs feel fine. You feel exhausted.
Oh,
And
fuck.
Suarez, Deacon barking an order at you, and Six, he barks at you as well. He takes a step back, and he tears the cloak off of his shoulders, and you see the huge scar from the top of his clavicle down across his chest. And he clenches his fists, and his face twists into a contortion of agony. And you hear a snapping sound as two large wings open up, made of black shadows around his back and bone. And he just scoops Eludia and Grace into his arms,
Oh, take me.
and he flies up.
Oh my god, I'm in heaven.
So glad we failed our save. He's so glad we failed our
Immediately
save.
scramble up the rope.
I do kind of push Six up ahead of me, and I'm just like, go, go, go. And start climbing up behind her.
Oh my
Why
god,
aren't you-
Grace, how beautiful are we together? What a vision.
Why isn't Suarez flying up?
I hope my feet are like in her face, sitting on her forehead like that, and I'm looking lovingly at Deacon.
The pair of you just feel yourselves, you just feel the world kind of rush around you as you're just dragged up, and both of you are now feeling it extremely difficult to focus on everything. Like it's harder and harder to breathe. It's harder and harder to stay conscious. And Deacon is saying something. He said something. Both of you heard Reagan. And as you land and you feel solid ground beneath your feet, both of you black out. Six and Suarez, you find Deacon standing there, both women kind of leaning against the wall of the cave. And he looks at both of you and he points down, and you see that the lake is rippling.
Oh no.
And all of you just see two thick, large, grey legs just pull themselves up onto the bank,
She back? She back?
and 100 purple eyes blink up.
It's a mushroom spider now. No. What have we
And
done?
Deacon just screams, "Run!" And he grabs
Ow!
Grace
Leave me.
and
Bye.
starts to run. Yeah.
Bye, Ludia. Damn, that's cold. That's ice cold.
At least I'll be in the stomach with Reeves. Hey,
Can-
baby.
Six is gonna go to follow him, and then like frustratedly turn back and like start slapping Eludia to try and wake her up.
My poor nose.
Off.
She's non-responsive.
She's just gonna hook her under the arms and try and drag her.
Okay. You pull her up, and so whereas you see like halfway between Deacon and Six, you hear kind of a scrambling sound as you see Six has pulled Eludia up onto her shoulder.
Is she going to be able to run this way? Like, is she okay with her?
She's
Like,
is
yeah,
Six
no,
gonna-
6 okay. Sorry. Or like, does she appear to be struggling?
if she's going to
Eludia's
run, she's
weight?
going to struggle.
I'm gonna run up to 6 and say, "Let me take her. I'll protect her. You run and see if she'll." I just.
Insight check.
When has this little bird boy ever done anything mean?
Nothing.
I'm going to
No, no,
throw
no,
her
no.
into the pit as a sacrifice so that we.
Me
None of
talking
you
about-
like her.
None of
13.
them. I'm so alone.
Such a gift
Yeah,
of
no, I
being
just want to
alone.
help.
Okay. You look Suarez in the eye as he offers to take Eludia. And he seems genuine.
She's gonna unceremoniously toss her over his shoulder and say, "If she dies, you die,"
Oh,
and then take off in a run.
he's still kind of like me.
As you take off in a run ahead, Suarez, you feel Eludia and the weight of her on your back. And there's a crashing sound below as you see the Grey Queen has now fully emerged out of the lake, and 100 purple eyes look up at you, and you see latched onto its underbelly this thick, wet clot of purple mucus and flesh, and 100 tentacles.
Oh,
Those creamy, milky tentacles just limbering out, searching and feeling the cave, and clambering up along the walls.
foul.
And you run.
Run.
And we will leave
No.
the episode
what time
there
is it?
a very secret.
Time to die.
We're back in 2 weeks' time for verse 7 Shallow Graves.
Who's going in first?
We have been D8 Dungeon. We are a group of Irish tabletop role-playing game enthusiasts. Might not be the best at the tech stuff, but we make do. And a big shout out to our
We get by.
producer, Louise,
Thanks, Louise.
for
Thanks,
fixing things on the
Louise.
fly
Patient.
and for being super patient with us. And for chat being so alert and letting us know.
You.
Hopefully, it
guys.
wasn't too discombobulating in the middle of all that. The next episode is out in 2 weeks' time. On Monday, we have a brand new episode of Rise of the Forsaken. I am Declan. I am your dungeon master.
Not anymore.
You can call me Daddy.
Oh,
Hey.
we have
He said it,
been.
somebody clip it. Somebody clip it.
We got permission. We got permission.
And I have been joined by Tendai as Grace, Eilish as Six, Fiona as Eludia, and Amber as Suarez. We are coming to the end of Saving Grace and this first adventure for Grace Stormfield as she navigates her place in the world while outrunning her past and the monsters that lurk within it. We have a load of content that we put out on a weekly basis now, whether it's discussing the role of a dungeon master, tips and tricks that I host every second Tuesday. We do map making every second Saturday. We have another show called Rise of the Forsaken every second Monday, a podcast called Romance the Dungeon every second Friday. We have date nights on Friday. Tomorrow, I'm so excited. Tomorrow night, we are hosting One Shot Nightstand, a monthly series where we play a whole new game, all self-contained, with different DM. I'm just taking the first one because I'm a control freak. But
He said it. Somebody clip it. Somebody clip it.
stop kidding me.
Perfect.
But I am joined by Eilish, Fiona, and Amber as we guide our way through Grant Howitt's and Chris Taylor's The Beast. But we are joined by a very special guest. Janet from Octocon will be helping hopefully
Woo.
keep these three in check. Or adding to the madness. I have not played with Janet before, but
No
we're very excited to have them
No
on the
promises.
stream with us tomorrow night. So that is from 8 p.m. I believe we're kicking things off. Yeah. So you'll catch us here at 8 p.m. Tomorrow if you want to check out that special. Oh, thanks, Zan.
Zan has it clipped.
Zan, that'll be remembered. You are joining my murder mystery on Saturday, so
First to die.
not for long.
Everyone be nice to Daddy Declan.
That's not going to save you, Oludia.
Nothing will.
I know you too long, babes. I know you too long. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope you had a blast. It's so much fun to do these things on such a regular basis and to have such a wonderful group of people to play with and to be watching and supporting us as we tell stories. Hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow night, and we will talk to you then. Okay.
Bye, pals.
Take care.
Bye.
Ooh.
Have dreams of mushroom monsters.
Or Daddy Deacon.
Oh, Daddy
Ooh.
Deacon any day.